It's very easy to take Photoshop from its off-the-shelf appearance to a customized setup that fits your own specific needs. In Chapter 1, we took our first brief look at workspaces. Now we'll get to customize our own. Before we do that, however, it's time to go back to our old friend, the Edit menu. Scroll down to Menus. And let's open this up. This dialog box allows us to do something very interesting. If I open up the File menu here, and you can see below File is all of the menu items that are listed in Photoshop. If I open up File, we see these visibility icons next to New, Open, Browse, and Bridge, etc. If I click, for example, on New, on the visibility, what I've done is I have hidden that New option in the File menu. I could do the same thing for Open. That means that when we go back into Photoshop and we go under File, we will not see New and we will not see Open. The first menu item that we will see is Browse and Bridge. Photoshop ships with a lot of menu items. Now, if there are a lot of items that you feel you're never ever going to use and you want to declutter and compact things a little bit, you can simply come up here into Menus and turn things off. You can always come back and turn them on, so you're not throwing them out of the program, you're just hiding them. Let's take a look now at keyboard shortcuts, because here's where you can really do something powerful. Again, we've got a lot of our menu commands here. I'll open up File. In an earlier lesson, I talked about the importance of using keyboard shortcuts. Well, here they all are listed. For example, the keyboard shortcut for New is Control-N on the PC, Command-N on the Mac. I can go and click on this, and if I'm not happy with that keyboard shortcut, I could change it. I could change it to any key combination that I want. If there's an item in this list that does not have a keyboard shortcut, such as, let's say, Open a Smart Object, I can click in this empty area. It gives me a box, and I can type in my own keyboard shortcut. I'll type in here, let's see, Control/ on the PC. Now on a Mac, you'd have to include the Command key for menu items, so maybe Command Control/ would work. Hit the Add Shortcut button, and voila! Open a Smart Object now has a custom keyboard shortcut that I've created. And again, you can do this for any menu item in Photoshop. You can either alter the existing shortcuts or add a shortcut to an item that doesn't have one. I'm going to go up and click Cancel because for right now we're going to leave keyboard shortcuts in menus the way that they are standard shipping in Photoshop. So I'm going to click outside this shortcut box, then hit Cancel, and now we're ready to dig into our workspace. Back in Chapter 1, we had set up in the Essentials workspace, and I'd just like for you to verify that you're still there. Make sure that Essentials is your chosen workspace. We're going to start from here, but we are going to make some changes to the neighborhood. First thing that I'm going to do is go down here in these panels. I'm going to get rid of the Swatches panel. I'm going to click, drag that out. Hit the X button to delete it. I'm going to do the same for the Brush Presets panel. Drag that out and delete it. I'm going to close up a little bit of space here with the Navigator and Info so our layers, channels, paths can have a lot more space down at the bottom. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to take Paths, click, drag that out. To undock it, I'm going to get rid of that. What I'm going to do now is go up to the Window menu, and I'm going to choose Histogram. I want to add a histogram. It's bundled by default with Actions. I don't want Actions, so I'm going to click on Actions, pull that tab out, and delete that. I am going to now go and add adjustments so that we can see our adjustment layers. Adjustments is linked with masks by default. For now, I'm going to delink those, so take masks, click that out, and hit the X key. Now, I don't want mini bridge and I don't want the history panel in here, so I'm going to click on this double dotted horizontal line, drag that out, hit the X, close those two. Now, we've freed up a little bit of space, but we've got a lot more room in layers and channels. We've still kept Navigator and Info, but now we've got histogram and adjustments, and those are going to come in handy over the next couple of chapters. Keep in mind, if we go back and look at our workspace switcher, it still says Essentials. The workspace switcher actually auto-saves or auto-updates whenever you make a change. So right now, Photoshop is letting us call this workspace Essentials. What we want to do, though, is create a brand new workspace. So we're going to click on this double arrow, go down near the bottom where it says New Workspace. We're going to name it. Let's call this TT for Total Training Demo. So I'm going to go TT and Demo. Notice under the Capture box, it gives us the option to save any custom keyboard shortcuts or menu alterations that we've made. Now, we haven't actually made any, so we can leave those unchecked, but if you do make changes to those, you can save those with the workspace. We're just going to hit the Save button now, and we now have a workspace called TT Demo. I'm going to drag this double vertical line out for a second just so we can take a look at a couple of the workspaces, because here's something that's important to remember. We said earlier that the workspaces are working in an autosave function. So if we choose TT Demo here and we go back and choose Essentials, those workspaces look the same. We had modified Essentials and then created a new workspace. What we want to do now, so that we don't get confused between these two, is we want to click on Essentials. I'm going to right click on the PC, control click on the Mac on the word Essentials, and I'm going to reset Essentials. This will take it back to its factory defaults. So now we have the Essentials that we started with, and if I click back on TT Demo, this is the workspace that we're going to be using in the next couple of chapters.